Hello, everybody that's joining us for our virtual tour. My name is Kevin Spaeth, and I'm currently a junior here at Wells. I also work for admissions, and I'm a part of the Wells College varsity baseball team. And my major is inclusive childhood education with a psych and soc minor.
Great, Kevin. Thank you. My name is Samantha Hall. I'm an admissions counselor at Wells. I work with everything above Route 90, the North Country, New England, and it's my first year working at Wells, but I graduated in 2018 and was involved in a lot of different things on campus. And Kevin and I have given tours before, so we're excited to get on into this virtual tour.
Yeah. So our first stop is McMillan Hall, which this is the view from the road that you would pass as you were coming into Wells. This is the famous sycamore tree, which is home to a lot of the Wells traditions. And up here we have a good view of the bell tower, which rings twice a day for lunch and dinner.
It's a nice shot of a good sunny day. She looks good in all seasons. And there was snow this morning. It's melted now. I like this shot a lot.
Perfect. I think we go, yeah, this way. So this is McMillan Circle, which is where we do graduation and we do our convocation to start the year. This is one of the academics, McMillan Hall, where there's a lot of different classes. Most of my education classes are here. I know that there's also some math classes here too. Also, there's a lot of offices, and it's kind of one of the most like special spots on the Wells.
It is. My favorite is convocation, and where the camera is now is a big circle,
Mhm.
and the whole student body circles up within the circle, and we all sing a Wells song. We welcome the new semester and good energy, so we all can do well in our classes, and we pass the flame of knowledge, and everyone has a candle at the end. Seniors run down to the lake and jump in, and it's a good time. But
Very
yeah, McMillan has a lot going on with offices
true.
and Phipps Auditorium, the president's office, registrar, and financial aid. So let's get into it.
Yeah, we get to duck inside. So this is the lobby when you first come in, which is kind of just like a waiting area for classes. Most of the offices are down the hallways here and here, with then
Nice.
classes being more upstairs and downstairs.
Those couches are so comfortable.
We also have the famous stained glass here, which is the three pillars of the liberal arts education, which is a very cool touch. I think I can get. I think I have to move us. Yeah. So then we get to go into Phipps Auditorium, which is
Nice.
home to the plays and the theater department, and the dance team is here too. And it's also where we host the honor code ceremony. So for first year students, come here, and this is where up on the stage where they would sign the honor code document, which is basically a document where we all as well students have to sign it, saying that we're not going to lie, cheat, or steal at Wells at all. That goes for academic or like personal things, just all in all.
Yeah, it's really special, and I think it's so it's just this code to respect professors and your classmates of just being a good person, and you don't have to worry about cheating and stealing and things like that. If there's ever any violations, there's a lot of consequences when it comes to community court. It's a restorative justice process, and students have the opportunity to, you know if there's a miscommunication, let's talk about it and work it out. Or if there's a violation, there'll be consequences. But I think it's a really special thing that not a lot of campuses have.
For sure. Uh, I think then, yeah, we get to duck into what one of the average Wells classrooms kind of looks like. It's set up for what looks like to be a discussion style class, which most of the classes is really encouraged. And it's just a pretty unique classroom.
There's nowhere to hide in a Wells classroom.
That is very
Professors
true.
professors will know you by name. There's no way to get distracted with online shopping, or you definitely can't watch Netflix while you're sitting in a Wells class.
Right.
And that's that's all on purpose. You're supposed to be getting the most out of these classes, and you're really able to really have these discussions. You're getting the information, you're talking about it and processing what's happening in these classes on a level that's really personal. So I think that really speaks to the Wells education. Um, yeah, it's just
Yeah,
small classes are
sure.
better.
I think if we, yeah, and then this is like our normal walking path. Yeah, so then we would end up at Stratton Hall, which is home to most of the Wells science classes. It is the newest academic building on campus. It's the newest building in general, I think, on campus. And it's, if we duck inside, I think we can see.
You're doing great walking us through it.
Thank you. This is the front entrance, the lobby. This is, I know a lot of people who host TA hours here. Over here is the biggest lecture hall on campus, but it's still not huge or anything. It's just the biggest classroom at Wells. Other than that, I think this is one of the, yeah. So this is what like a traditional Wells science lab would look like. A cool fun fact that I think is cool. Some of the science professors that are here now were here when they built the building. So they got to help design all the lab rooms. So when they say it's like their classroom, it's really like their classroom. Like they got to design it and put everything where they wanted it.
And because of the honor code, our labs are really respected. A lot of the students have responsibilities and jobs to clean them and make sure everything's put into place. And I can remember being a student and doing work in the science building with science friends way late into the night just because of the honor code, and we were able to have access to it
Yep,
as long as we were being respectful to the space.
for sure. So uh, then this would be our normal walk across campus, which would take us to the long library, which is my personal favorite building on campus. I think it's the coolest, especially on the inside. And if we duck in, this is one of the floors. Yeah. So I
Nice.
think that the ceiling is super cool. And they said that the architect didn't want any right angles in the building because he wanted it to spark creativity. So I think that's super cool. And it's super cool to sit here, and it's a really awesome spot to study. You can also rent a spot. So if you look over at these tables over here, or there's other tables hidden in here, uh, for no like additional fee, you get your own labeled spot where you can leave all your stuff to work on and come and go as you please, just to have your own kind of spot to get your work done.
Yeah, they're called carols, and a lot of our alum will come back and say, "This was my carol." There's a lot of,
Mhm.
blood, sweat, and ink that goes into those areas of studying, and you
Yeah,
can
people like to
leave it.
decorate them and put pictures all over them. And it makes a really unique spot for everybody.
Yeah, it's nice with the honor code. You can leave your laptop right there at your carol and go have dinner, and then come back, and no
Right.
one has touched your stuff. So they're special little carols.
And then I think, yeah, so if we go downstairs, this is the Learning Commons, which is another spot where people like to host TA hours a lot. There's a computer lab here. There's also multiple printers in the Learning Commons where you can print anything you would need. And then it's home to the Writing Center and the Math Center. So if you would need like additional help somewhere, that'd be a good spot to pop in and have someone just kind of grammatically look over your paper or maybe help you with a math problem here or there.
Yeah, and the career center as well.
Oh, yeah.
Well, students are required 2 experiential learning times throughout their career at Wells, so that can be an internship or a study abroad.
Mhm.
And we have a study abroad office with Amy Torres. But if you are looking for internship help or even resume, job searching and anything of that sort, Linda Galbato is a huge helpful resource. So she's right there in that corner. If you keep going straight, she's right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
And then if we would come down this way, I be- oh, if we come down this way. Yeah, the music building. And I think we pop inside one of the art rooms, the art and music
Ooh,
building there. Yeah, so this is one of
beautiful.
the art studios, which is a really cool spot, very creative spot, I think.
Yeah, seniors get their own space to set up shop and create and build, everything that they need for their senior show. A
Mhm.
lot of every department, seniors are able to showcase their time at Wells, and we have a thesis process that everyone goes through,
Mhm.
and it's just a really cool experience. It's really rare for undergrads, and Wells whips it out every year because we're able to really work with our professors one-on-one and have this whole, portfolio of things that you've created at Wells. And for
For,
Campbell Art,
yes.
the seniors really have a good time with that. It's special.
There's also another smaller theater in Campbell, and then I know that the music classes are up here higher. I took piano up here.
Yeah, I took guitar there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Does it just? Ah, yeah. Okay. So this is the Schwartz Athletic Center, which is home to our weight room, and we have two gyms. I think we can. Yeah. So if we pop here, this is
And
the.
and a pool and a dance studio. There's a whole bunch of things in Schwartz, but we're up on top of
Oh
the
yeah, it took us to the practice field. I think we can hop back in here. Yeah. Okay. Inside here is this is obviously the basketball court, which is home to the men's and women's basketball team and the men's and women's volleyball teams, which is very cool.
beautiful new court. Look at how shiny that floor is.
It's also home to all the odd even events that we have, which is a very
Yes.
special Wells tradition based on what year you graduate. So I graduate in 2021, which makes me an odd. So I would cheer on the odd team here.
And I'm 2018, so I'm an even. And we have a lot of glitter. There's tutus, there's bathing suits. It's the
Yes,
craziest. I think even people wear their prom dresses and just craziness going around.
it is
And
crazy.
the ultimate school spirit that will follow you throughout your entire life. And to know you have sisterhood classes and brotherhood classes that are with you throughout the odd and even years is just a bond that will never be broken ever. And at the end, we all circle up as Wells and sing our songs together in a big circle. It's emotional sometimes, most of the time. Right, Kevin?
Always. I don't think it's ever not emotional.
Exactly.
I think the next stop is, yes, the turf field, which is home to all of our outdoor sports. It's a multi-use field, which is really unique and special. It also has lights, which is really cool for night games. I'm on the baseball team, so the baseball field's over here on this half, and then softball field is in center field of the baseball field, and then the other field sports run this way. So that's field hockey, men's and women's lacrosse, men's and women's soccer. Yes, so it's a very cool spot.
And it's absolutely beautiful. They've done a
It
really
is.
great job. There's a lot of people who are behind that we're really lucky to have. And in the off season, when people are not practicing and when there's no games, we've held kickball tournaments and flag football, and there's just a lot of really fun things to do on top of that turf. And when the sun is setting, that is a beautiful view of
Spot
like purple sky and like just the sun setting on these athletes, so you feel like a superstar.
for sure. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So we can still, and then we have, which we already
Oh,
kind of looked at. This is like the practice field for some of the sports. I know lacrosse and practice is over here. And then we also have the field house, which has lockers and stuff for the teams, which is very cool.
visiting teams, yeah.
And then here's another look of the turf field on it. There's a press box all the way out in center field for baseball, behind the plate for softball, which is a very cool spot. Oh, I think we went backwards. All right. Yeah. So then this is the Dodge Residence Hall, which is one of the possible living spots for first year students. Dodge has more suite style living, so it would be two rooms might share one bathroom instead of one of the other freshman dorms, Leach, where you would have a hallway bathroom kind of
Yeah,
situation.
Dodge is actually 2 doubles and 2 singles to one bathroom.
So I think
I lived there my freshman year and I loved
I've never lived there, but I've been there. So
it.
this is the Dodge lobby. So all the residence halls have some kind of lobby. Most of them have a pool table. They all have vending machines. Most have a piano, which is pretty cool. Spot to watch TV. Just a cool spot. I think they all have a kitchen if you wanted to cook and make your own meals. That's kind of an option that the students have.
We've had Super Bowl parties in that lounge before, and everyone decorates a Christmas tree during the holidays. So it's a good meeting space. And every floor has an RA.
Right. This is just kind of a look at one of the rooms in Dodge. This is a double, so it would be 2 people for 1 room. They have desk, a dresser, closet, all the necessities.
A huge closet.
Yes. It's very cool. The next stop is the Leach Residence Hall, which is an entire first-year residence hall. So only first years get to live in this residence hall. I lived here my first year at Wells, so this has a special spot in my heart. This is what the Leach room looks like. It's similar to the Dodge room.
This pano does not do it justice because these
It doesn't.
rooms
It looks way smaller on here, but it's a very big freshman room compared to other
huge.
colleges and universities.
And when those trees aren't in full bloom, that's the lake right there. So
it's a good view.
Beautiful. And I think, everyone can have a microwave and a fridge as long as they're in our, recommended sizes. And that's all on our website that you can look at.
This is one of the lounges in Leach, which is not much different from the one in Dodge. Same kind of thing, kitchen, a pool table, and TV spot. Just a good spot for everyone to come together. I know RAs host floor programs in these areas a lot, which is cool. So everyone gets to know each other pretty quick.
Yeah, they have some really fun floor meetings when it comes to de-stress fest or cooking, or just coloring. There's a lot of fun stuff.
This is the Weld Residence Hall. So this is for anyone who's not a first-year student can apply to live in Weld. It's not super different from the other ones. Here's a look at the Weld Lounge, which I think is one of the nicest ones.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a very cool spot.
And a lot of homework hours are put in. Mm-hmm. It's a popular study space, right?
For sure. I like that Weld has the balcony out front too. I always think that's really cool.
And in Weld, they have private bathrooms. So they're single and, stall and shower, and you can lock the door to have it be one private bathroom.
This is the Glen Park or GP Residence Hall. It is the only all-woman residence hall on campus, so it's not open to all students. It also was Henry Wells's original home where he lived, which I think is really cool. I think it has the best view of the lake, but that's just my thoughts.
It's a New York State historical landmark because he lived there. And these rooms are absolutely gorgeous. They have
this is the view kind of GP from the street.
Nice.
You'll be driving in, and then I think this is the lobby.
Yeah. Look at that lobby. It's gorgeous.
A very cool spiral staircase.
Great lounge to do homework in.
GP is definitely one of the more unique residence halls for sure, which is super cool. This is the main building, which is where we started our tour. This is also a residence hall, but it's also home to the dining hall, the mail room. There's some offices that are being used. So it's just like it's kind of like the center of campus. Everything you need most of the time is right in the main building.
Yeah, the string room art gallery, the space for diversity and inclusion, and there's really exciting things coming in here. Downstairs in the basement is famously known for the Women Resource Center, and just a lot of updates that are that are happening. They're doing a room with the view, so a lot of the rooms are being renovated. It's a really fun space where a
Right.
lot of, I would say this is the biggest. It is the biggest.
For sure.
Main third always has that's home.
This is one of the main lobbies, which is a very popular spot where people like to hang out. I think it is very unique too. It has probably the biggest kitchen of all of them, which is right over here, which is really cool. And then this would be one of the rooms in main. I think that main has some of the most unique rooms. All the rooms are kind of cut a little different, which makes them really special and kind of makes it like your room, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, it's so interesting to try to fit everything. Some are not equally
Yeah,
distributed, or some are really skinny and have slanted ceilings. So it's fun. There's like
very, very
a Harry
unique.
Potter vibe.
This is just one of the lobbies right outside some of the rooms where Maine is full of different lobby places to sit. There's definitely no shortage in Maine.
Yeah, that's true. Mhm. And new floors, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm. Very true. So this is a look of the dining hall from the outside. It has some outside seating for when the weather's super nice and a fire pit. Yeah, and then inside, it's been renovated since these pictures, but it still has a very cool feel. Some people say it looks like the dining hall from the Harry Potter movies, which is kind of cool. Um, so then you would swipe in down over here, and then you would come in, and the food is all kept over here in like a buffet style, and you would just get as much as you would want, and then eat where you feel fit. And I think we were already, yeah. And this is just another view of the outside part. Where this is the lake right here, which is super cool.
Yeah, and Ryerson Commons is a really special place when it's warm out, and a lot of a lot of great meeting spaces happen. You can have s'mores on that little fire with professors and faculty. They love to come and gather everyone together. And May Day is my favorite tradition. So I always plug for May Day. And in 2018, we held it on Ryerson Commons. And there's poetry and welcoming spring. So even though it snowed today, I'm still hopeful once May comes around that it'll be warmer and we'll all be together there soon.
Hopefully.
That's a great shot. I like these pictures.
This is the Wells College Boathouse. So it is obviously where we store all the boats for the lake. It also has its own dock with a lifeguard, and then there's usually a roped off area for students to go swimming when the weather's nice, which is super cool. I think it's one of the most like unique spots on that any school would have, because I don't know how many schools you can walk out of your residence hall and go for a swim in the lake when it's nice enough.
And at this point, where the Wells College Boathouse is,
Mm-hmm.
it's at the widest and the deepest part of Cayuga Lake. So the campus kind of sits in its own Aurora bubble. And when the weather is crazy, it's often really nice right on campus because we're protected by that spot. It's a That's a perfect view of it.
Yeah. So this is the view from the dock, and you would be looking in. This is the main bell tower, and then the boathouse, and it's all up that way, which is very cool. I think then we go downtown. Yeah. So this is the village of Aurora,
Nice.
which is really, I think there's a 360 of it. Yeah. So yeah, so this is the market, the village market's over here, which is where you would stop and get things that you might need. These are the inns of Aurora, which are where people stay that are coming to visit. This is the Fargo Bar and Grill, which is a very popular campus eating spot for students.
And families and friends that are coming to visit, it's a
Yep.
great meeting spot.
So then we have Smith Hall and Sommer Center.
Back
So
on campus.
back on campus now. It's a quick jump from off to back on. I don't know if there's any new pictures of Sommer Center. I don't think there is. This is the downstairs. It's known as the Well. It's another spot on campus where you can eat. You can use swipes to take money off for the meals here. Uh, it's just more of like a restaurant style, not a buffet. So you would just order what you want, swipe, and then you would eat that way.
We've had poetry readings down there, a lot of
Karaoke
karaoke
night.
and game nights and things like that.
Yeah,
So
there was trivia night
yeah,
like a month or so ago, which was pretty cool. And then I don't think we can go upstairs, but the upstairs is home to all the offices, the student services offices, so like residence life and anything you would need like that living as a student here. It's completely redone inside, so it's awesome. It's probably like there's a huge W over here, which I think is really cool. When you walk in, you see the big W in front of the offices, which is like really special.
and a really nice fireplace and
Mm-hmm.
the huge
Big
screen that comes down to live stream games or talks and movies, and really comfy like beanbag chairs, and all the colors are odd even, which I think is really
really
unique.
cool. So then we go to Morgan Hall, which I think we can pop inside. Yeah. Which
Yay, we love Morgan.
yeah, Morgan Hall is really cool because we have is it three printing presses?
There's a few more and some really antique presses. So there's quite a few actually. I'm not sure the exact number, but
Yeah. So
one out of 6 printing press centers left in America. That's the big one.
I think it's cool that all of the Wells College diplomas when you graduate are printed here on campus, which is I think like a really nice like homey touch that it's all made right there.
Yeah, there's something really special that, this is the beginning of words on paper. It just blows my mind. And there's a really, really special opportunity for students to work with poetry or writing or, visiting writers series and see how words are being formed into poetry and writing and then actually create it onto a page. It's such a special niche to be able to work with these type backwards and the smallest one by one by one by one and then crank it out onto a page. It's so cool. And we do Valentine's Day cards and holiday cards for the community, and you can come in and do it yourself even if you're not involved, but the people who are involved have a lot of work and soul that goes into it. So it's a special center, and people from all over the world come to check it out. It's a cool place.
Really cool. This is Zabriskie Hall, which does have some academic classes. I know that a lot of like psychology and sociology classes are here. It's also home to our coffee shop, which is called The Grind, which is probably this one of the most popular spots for students. It also has like a little area where people do work. So you get your coffee and then you have a spot to work. It's also home to the college bookstore, which is really cool. And it has 2 computer labs downstairs. One's a Mac lab and one's a PC lab. So it's kind of just the place to go if you're trying to get some work done. Would be here in Zabriskie.
Did you say the business center and
Mm-mm.
a sustainability center is also on?
Yes.
Both centers are on the
I
second
think
floor.
we have one of the, yeah, we get to look at the sustainability one. This is a professor's office, which is really cool. And a very cool Wells touch is that most of the professors have an open door policy. So if you have any issue in class or anything, their offices are usually not that far from the classroom, which I think we even get to see up here. Yeah. So if this was the classroom, some of the professor's offices will be like right across the hall. You can walk in with any questions, concerns, anything that would help benefit you to make you feel more comfortable in their class, which has definitely helped me out a ton being at Wells and having the personal touch of getting to pop in and see all the professors and get to kind of pick their brains, even not in the classroom, which is super cool. I don't know a lot of other places where you get to do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of good chats that are had in those offices, and it can be class related, it can be Wells related. You can have ideas about internships or the future, and you just create these really special relationships that last, even after you graduate.
For sure. And then I think, yeah, our last stop is the Pettibone House, which is home
Hey.
to admissions. Yes. So this is where the admissions counselors work and where you would want to contact if you were interested in coming to Wells. This would be the place. I think we can, do we get to, yeah. So this is one of the meeting rooms, which is pretty cool. They all have really big windows and a lot of them have really cool views of the lake, which is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the only room that yeah, for
Yeah, for the students who have visited, you've probably seen that room before. And then if you're hoping to visit, the admissions counselors and myself would love to have just a casual conversation with you. And we're just excited to meet you all. We're all available through all sorts of outreach. We're trying to connect on Facebook. You can find our information on our website through work cell phones and emails. Kevin has done really cool outreach as a student, still working and taking classes online. So we're all,
Yeah,
we are a big fam and we're working hard just like
sure.
everybody. So we're available.
Yeah, for sure. And if anyone would want to do another virtual tour, we're also doing like personal virtual tours. If someone wanted to even get a chance to ask questions and hear even more like personal stories from each spot, that's definitely something to reach out and learn more about.
Thanks for joining us today,
Yeah,
everyone.
thank you, everybody.